Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on when you are watching this. Hopefully, it's not 3 a.m. in the morning. We're going to continue working on applications of trigonometry, so more word problems for this week. This has attached skeleton notes, so feel free to use those if you can print them out or just use them as a guideline. But what we're going to be focusing specifically on today is angle of elevation and angle of depression, which uses right triangle trig very often out there in the real world. So let's first start with our angle of elevation, and again, feel free to pause this video at any time. I'm just going to try to keep moving through it, just so that the file itself is not very large. But your angle of elevation is the angle the angle of elevation of an object as seen by an observer is the angle between the horizontal line from the object to the observer's eye, which is the line of sight. So if we think about horizontal, that is the line that goes straight across the flat. So if this was my observer, right, here's my little person, here's their eye, so your horizontal line would be there. Okay, and then the angle created as they look either up to an object would be your angle of elevation. So as you're looking up at whatever object, so maybe there is a bird in the sky flying, and then that horizontal line coming straight from your eyesight would be your angle of elevation. Okay, so if we look at this first example, we're asked to identify the angle of elevation in the diagram. So there's our little guy down there at W. So the angle of elevation would be this angle right here. So angle SWT would be the angle of elevation. So other than angle of elevation, here we have, again, our little man at P. He's looking up at the hot air balloon, so here would be your angle of elevation. So angle R, P, Z. Okay, so make sure you can identify angle of elevation in a diagram. Most likely, specifically for your homework for this week, you're going to be creating your own diagram, so you should be able to locate where those angle of elevations would be. So your angle of depression, so if the object is below the level of the observer, then the angle between the horizontal and the observer's line of sight is called the angle of depression. If you need to pause the video so you can finish writing that down, feel free to pause the video now. I'm going to continue moving on. So here we go back to our original diagram. So if I wanted to locate the angle of depression, okay, so my angle of depression would be, here's your horizontal, and then we're going down. So if you were sitting up here, let's say in that cart, is it a cart on a Ferris wheel? And you were looking down at the man on the ground, then your angle of depression would be angle RTW. And then if we go into that next example with the hot air balloon, let's say that you're the person up there in the hot air balloon, and you're now looking down at the man, then your angle with that horizontal line would be your angle of depression, so angle WZP would be the angle of depression. Now, if you notice, we do kind of have parallel lines with a transversal, and trace that very good, transversal here. So what should be true about our angle of depression and our angle of elevation? They would be congruent because they're alternate interior angles. So really, it doesn't matter if you're looking up or looking down, your angle of elevation and your angle of depression will be the same. We're going to kind of use that idea as we move forward with our word problems. Okay, so here's our first problem. It says, on a mountain bike trip along the Gemini Bridges in Moab, Utah, Nabucco stopped on the canyon floor to get a good view of the twin sandstone bridges. Nabucco is standing about 60 meters from the base of the canyon cliff. Okay, so I'm going to pause there. I'm going to just start creating my diagram. So here's Nabucco. Maybe your artwork will be better than mine. It says that he's standing 60 meters from the base. So here's my 60 meters from the base. There's my cliff of our cliff. The natural arch bridges are about 100 meters up the canyon wall. Oh, sorry, Nabucco is a woman. If her line of sight is 5 meters above the ground, what is the angle of elevation to the top of the bridges? So the bridges are about 100 meters up. So here I'm going to put my 100 meters up the canyon wall. Her eye height, and the reason why we need to know that is because really I'm starting my eye height here of, we said that was 5 meters above the ground. She's looking up. Okay, what is the angle of elevation to the top of the bridges? So we're looking for the angle. So that dotted line is going to also stay 60 meters. But now we have a new distance right here. That part that's in yellow is no longer 100 because the arcs are 100 meters from the ground and up. So that new length is going to be 100 meters minus the original 5 meters of her eye height. So that puts that at 95 meters. So now we have a right triangle. Right here, right triangle. Okay. We're going to use X as our reference angle. Let me get a different color here. So X is our reference angle. 95 is the opposite leg. 60 is the adjacent leg. So which trig function has an O and an A in it? Well, that would be the tangent. So the tangent of our unknown angle X is equal to the opposite leg, which is 95, over the adjacent leg, which is 60. So then hopefully from here we remember how to solve this. I'm going to take 95, divide it by 60 on my calculator. Let me go ahead and pull that up here. 95 divided by 60. So 95 divided by 60 gets us 1.5833. Okay, so we have the tangent of x degrees is equal to 1.583. So then either using your green table, go to your tangent column and try to find the closest degree that gets you to the ratio of 1.583. Or if you have your calculator, we could hit second tangent, 1.583, hit enter, and we get 57.7 degrees. So if you were using your table because you don't have a calculator that does the inverse, it would probably get you pretty close to 58. So if we were rounding to the nearest angle, I would say that it is about 58 degrees. Because up here when we did the tan inverse of 1.58, sorry, my fingers are not touching the screen very well today, that gets us 57.7 degrees. Okay. Alright, sorry that all got kind of scrunched up there in the corner. Okay, on to the next. Again, pause at any point in time if you feel like you need to pause and I'm moving too fast. Okay, here's our next example. It already has a diagram given to us. It says, suppose the sun casts a shadow off a 35-foot building. If the angle of elevation to the sun is 60 degrees, how long is the shadow to the nearest tenth of a foot? Okay, so again, if you need to pause to get this set up, feel free to pause, but I'm going to keep on going. So here they do give us an angle. Here's our reference angle. They give us an opposite. We're solving for an adjacent, which means we're again going to use a tangent. So we're going to do the tangent of my reference angle, which in this case is 60 degrees, is equal to opposite, so 35, over the adjacent, which is x. So now, either using your trig chart or your calculator, we're going to figure out what the tangent of 60 is. 3 decimal places, so 1.732. Well, I don't know what that means. Let's go back to here. So what did we say that was? 1.732 is equal to 35 over x. Put that over 1. 35 equals 1.732x. Divide it out. 732 gets us an answer of, that's not what I wanted, 35 divided by 1.732. Technical issues going on here. And we're going to the nearest tenth of a foot, so 20.2. So it's about 20.2 feet. Okay, so there we had angle of elevation. That was specifically from the ground, not from an observer's eye level, so we didn't have to take that into consideration. All right, next one. Again, pause at any point in time to feel like you need to get yourself caught up. Kyle is at the end of a pier 30 feet above the ocean. His eye level is 3 feet above the pier. He is using binoculars to watch a whale's surface. If the angle of depression of the whale is 20 degrees, how far is the whale from Kyle's binoculars? Round to the nearest tenth of a foot. Okay, so we've got our pier. So you can kind of see, here's Kyle, he's standing there, right? Standing on the pier. He's got his binoculars. So we've got our right triangle occurring right here. Now, if you remember what I said before, angle of elevation and angle of depression are going to be exactly the same. So if he's looking down 20 degrees, if we kind of envision the whale looking up at Kyle at his binoculars, he would be looking up at 20 degrees. So I'm going to put my 20 degrees down there, and that for my reference angle. Okay. Our opposite of that reference angle is 3 plus 30, so 33 feet. And what other information are we given? He is... Do we have anything else? At the end of the pier, 30 feet above the ocean, his eye level is 3 feet above. He's using binoculars. Oh, we're supposed to figure out how far is the whale from Kyle's binoculars. So the distance from whale to his binoculars would be the hypotenuse of that right triangle. So we have an opposite, we have a hypotenuse. So which trig function has an O and an H in it? That would be the sine. So we're going to do the sine of our reference angle, which here they give it to us. We're not solving for it. So 20 degrees is equal to opposite. So 33 over our hypotenuse, which is x. Either using your calculator or your trig chart. The sine of 20 is 0.342 is equal to 33 over x. Put it over 1, cross multiply. 33 equals 0.342x. Divide it out. Divide it out. Gets you 33 divided by 0.342. So about 96.5. So x is approximately 96.5 feet. Oh, nearest foot, so 97 feet. There we go. round to the nearest foot is what it says. Okay. All right, so there we were solving for an unknown side, which means we were using normal trig. We only use the second sine or second tangent or second cosine when we're solving for the actual angle itself. All right, and that concludes our notes. So again, just to kind of recap, if you're talking about angle of elevation, so all your problems are going to have a right triangle somewhere involved in them. If you're talking about angle of elevation, you're going to put that angle right there. So either you're given that angle or you're going to solve for that angle. If you're talking about angle of depression, technically your angle of depression would be right here. But keep in mind, since we have parallel lines with that horizontal line, your angle of depression will be exactly the same as your angle of elevation. So kind of a little trick that I always use is that when I'm setting up my diagram, oops, get rid of the highlighter. When I'm setting up my diagram, I just kind of always throw my angle right here. Because when you're doing your worksheet, you're not going to have any diagrams for you. So just kind of get in the habit of making this your right triangle, and then whatever the degree they give you, so whether they say the angle of elevation is 20 degrees, then put it there. Or if they say your angle of depression is 15 degrees, just put it there, because your depression angle would technically go up here. Sorry that my handwriting is so bad. I don't know why this is not liking my fingers today. So your angle of depression would be here, which would just be the same as your angle of elevation. Okay, so trick of the trade. For every problem, make a right triangle. If you're given an angle, throw it in there. If you're solving for an angle, then put in an X there and solve for it. Okay? If you're talking about a horizontal distance, that's going to go down here on the bottom. So your shadow, how far away you are from a building. If you're talking about how high something is or how low, that's going to go on the opposite. And if it specifically is talking about the distance from something down here to something up here, or something up here to something down there, then you would do that. Okay, so just pay close attention to what specifically is being stated in the problem. All right, email me with any questions. Good luck.